we are talking about, or I am talking about next year, and in particular my Scotland, British Isles and Faroes trip, which I will be aboard next May. So normally you'll find me in the office. I am here today. I do tend to go away a little bit, and next year will be my first trip to this area. My first trip with Wild Earth was to the Galapagos Islands. Since then, I've been to the subantarctic islands of New Zealand, Fiordland, and Alaska. And I did escort a group of 80 Australian and New Zealanders through Greece and Turkey, including to Gallipoli, to commemorate the work of the nursing sisters, which was my first taste of escorting a group with Wild Earth, which was really good fun. So this time, the trip for next year will be in conjunction with our partner Poseidon Expeditions. They have been running trips since 1999, and they will be their expedition team on board, and I will be there as a Wild Earth escort. So here's a little picture of me in the Galapagos Islands. In the sun. So next year's trip will be no doubt a jacket and trousers trip. It'll be pretty cold up that way, but a great place to visit. So this is our schedule for next year. So we will be starting off in Edinburgh. This is a bit of an overview for you, but I will go through it all in detail next. It's 13 days, so start and end in Edinburgh in Scotland. And this is the area where we're going to, so the Orkney and Shetland Islands, and then up to the remote Faroe Islands. The hotel we're staying at is on Royal Mile in the middle of Edinburgh. This is the Radisson Blu. We'll have a welcome dinner that night and meet everybody and all the other Poseidon Expedition travelers. And a few shots from Edinburgh of the Edinburgh Castle and all the views there. And we'll have a guided tour around the castle and be able to learn a lot about all the history and how the building sits upon Castle Rock and dominates the city. There's the traditional British telephone box. There aren't many of those around anymore, but you do find them in the big cities in the UK. So we have a video of the Sea Spirit. It's about 4 or 5 minutes long. Just means that we can give you a bit more of an overview of what the ship is like instead of me just talking. So I will play that now. So the first stop on the itinerary is near Kirkwall. So this is a place called Scarabrai. So as you can see, it is an old archaeological site. It is a Neolithic settlement dating back 5,000 years. The houses that you see are very well preserved, and it's thought that the inhabitants were some of Britain's earliest farmers. So we'll have a tour around there. It's right by the ocean, so a really nice place where people would have lived in the past, and it's all quite well preserved, so looks quite cozy. And then on to the Shetland Isles. So Faroe Isle, this is an island famous for its seabirds. So we will the island only has 60 people living there, so we'll definitely see more birds than people. A few sheep along the way, and here's the beautiful puffins that we all want to see, including myself. Looking forward to seeing some of those puffins nesting at the time of year that we are there. It is the time of year that they would be nesting. There's another good shot. So this is Lerwick. So it's the largest settlement on the mainland, and we head to the Shetland Museum there. As you can see, lots of coloured little houses, and beautiful black houses with their grassy roofs, which come from the climate there. It's so wet, and the grass grows really nicely up there. Reminds me of Greenland and the settlements that you get up there on the edge of Greenland. There's a picture of the type of travel that we do on the ship. So all by a Zodiac, and the drivers all take us in and out safely. And just sailing past Sunberg Head. This is the type of weather that we may have, and then but the ship is well equipped to manage with all the weather conditions, being usually in Antarctica and the Arctic, so it is used to these weather conditions. And this is just an aerial shot of the ship at southern Shetland. And then we go to Jarlshof, which is another area where there's some old houses, medieval farmstead, and a laird house dating from the 1500s. So again, we'll get taken around here, lots of photo opportunities from the cliffside, and lots of sort of where you can see where people used to live and have their food and drinks, no doubt, on a fire. And then the main highlight for me, and I think for a lot of people, would be the Faroe Islands. So the Faroe Islands do actually belong to Denmark. We will go to the main town in the Faroes, which is Tórshavn, the main capital, and we will be doing lots of sailing around, Zodiac cruising, looking at these beautiful houses, and the main island does have a little town, so we'll walk around the town and make sure we see what life is like on the Faroe Islands. So the ship will have a photographer on board. These photographs are from one of the photographers that are on board, but they do have a photographer on board who will assist you if you have any sort of photography needs, and they'll give you a good eye for detail if you've got a great camera. There's a bird's eye view of the one of the houses. This is a couple of photos of how we travel in and out from the ship. So Zodiac cruising is predominantly what most of our ships do, especially up in areas like this. So you do get helped in and out of the Zodiacs by the expedition leaders. The jackets that you see, the red jackets, you will all get a jacket on the ship, so you don't need to worry about taking a really big jacket with you. And you also get boots to borrow. So those gum boots are really useful and helpful when you're doing wet landings, and then once you get back to the ship, you can take them off, and they get left in one of the mud rooms to dry out. But the jackets are really useful. But we also suggest you take like a fleece and just a smaller waterproof jacket for when you're when it's not as wet. There's a couple of another photo of some people about to get off. And this is just another beautiful picture of the Faroe Islands from above. Yeah, it's amazing. So that's once we've been to the Faroe Islands for a few days, we'll head back south and back into Leith and then back into Edinburgh. But on the way through, we are going to a beautiful place called Jupiter Artland. So it's a sculpture park, and it sits in 100-acre grounds of Bonington House, just outside of Edinburgh. So we will take a guided tour and have lunch here. They have lots of arty installments, and they change them each year. And you just walk around, and we'll have a guided tour, and we'll have lunch there as well. And I found a book in the library on the weekend, and it is noted in the 100 best places to go in Scotland. So I was quite pleased that we decided to go there. So the last night is at a different hotel. So we're at the Hilton by Doubletree, and we'll just have a farewell dinner here, and you can relax and then just have a chat between ourselves and have share some photos and memories from the trip. So we do have a video of one of the expedition leaders, Hugh Lewis-Jones. He was going to join us on the webinar, but with the time difference with England, it was a little bit tricky. So instead, he sent us a video. So we'll just share the video. We'll just stop the screen.
Hello everyone, good morning or good evening. My name is Hugh Lewis-Jones. This is a message for you from Cornwall here in Great Britain, and apologies for the less than ideal circumstances of this recording. It's an incredibly busy week for me here in England. I'm a professor in Falmouth in Cornwall, and I'm back on campus today. In actual fact, just about to go teach my first class, 15 minutes or so to go. So I'm an expedition leader with Poseidon Expeditions, an international company that runs trips predominantly to the polar regions, one of the leading operators in the industry. I've been very lucky to lead expeditions for Poseidon to Antarctica, through the Arctic, but crucially up to the North Pole itself. So you could say I've got quite wide polar experience. I've been in the industry for well over 20 years in various guises. I love being out in nature. Perhaps you're one of those people too. Love seeing wildlife, being out in wilderness places to feel the fresh air on your skin, and drinking the sea air. Love it all. That said, I also love voyages a little closer to home. So I have a family now, and I teach here as my day job. But in the last few years, Poseidon has started to operate trips from the British Isles, which pleased me greatly. And I was very pleased to lead the first British Isles voyages. And they are expedition voyages in the truest sense, on the same ship, the same expedition team, the same spirit of adventure, I should say. And we've got some exciting new departures for next summer in May, which is a great time for lots of reasons, not least for me, because the school term has finally finished, but great for wildlife in particular. And you might not know it, but the British Isles really are the best place in the world to see seabirds, amongst other amazing things. So the British Isles trips are a real joy. They start typically in Portsmouth or Plymouth, sail in a kind of, well, let's say, a clockwise direction around Britain, past the end of Cornwall, Land's End, past my house, off to the Scilly Isles, up through Ireland, to Wales, then the Scottish Islands to Edinburgh. And then another voyage begins in Edinburgh. These are amazing voyages, as I said, rich in wildlife. May is a time when the puffin colonies are in full activity. Puffins spend most of their winters in the North Atlantic and come ashore to breed, to mate and to burrow and raise their young. So wonderful wildlife opportunities. And the ship expedition voyaging is better to do this stuff than trying to do it yourself, really. We can access islands that you're unable to access. We have special permissions, but you're also able to do something, and then we travel overnight, and you arrive in the morning at another destination ready for a full day of activity. It might be bird watching, but if maybe bird watching isn't for you, in which case there's plenty. Historic gardens, a fantastic garden in the Scilly Isles and Tresco, also in Ireland. Of course, natural history, geology. I think particularly of the Giant's Causeway is a big highlight. Snowdonia in North Wales, the island of Rathlin off the north coast of Ireland, or Staffa and Iona in the Scottish Islands, or the wild St Kilda out there in the North Atlantic, home to birds and some incredible human histories. And then through the northern Scottish Islands, Shetland and Orkney, time for some whiskey, as well as Viking culture and other aspects of Neolithic sacred sites, as well as seabirds galore. Into Edinburgh, changeover. Some passengers join in Edinburgh for the next legs, and next year it's very exciting. Not only do we get Scottish Islands from Edinburgh, but also an extended trip to the Faroe Islands, this remote island group north of Scotland that often is used as a stepping stone to the Arctic, but we have a voyage that's going to spend a number of days in the Faroe Islands, heading into Tórshavn, the capital for history and culture. There's a few nice pubs there as well, but also we'll attempt some more remote landing sites, again seabirds and truly wild, rugged nature. Exactly my kind of favourite things. Back to Edinburgh, this is all next year, and then from Edinburgh a voyage direct to the Arctic, again through the Scottish Islands, up to Jan Mayen, a volcano in the middle of the high Atlantic, to the home of the polar bears themselves, the Svalbard or Spitsbergen archipelago, for more ice, seabirds, and hopefully polar bears. All of that is to play for next summer with Poseidon Expeditions in May. For now, I've got to go and give a lecture. So hello and goodbye from me, Hugh Lewis-Jones, here in Britain.
And if you would like to share a whiskey with him, I can't say I drink whiskey, so I wouldn't be having a whiskey. But if you'd like to share a whiskey with him, you know where to find him. He did talk about the other trips, as I said, in conjunction with Poseidon. So if there is anybody that's interested in getting around the UK a little bit more, then just let me know, let us know. So the early bird pricing is still available up until the end of October. So I'm happy to send you a trip dossier with a little bit more information and a little bit more in depth about what I've been talking about. We do share options on the ship. So if you have a single client or if you're a single traveler, we can match you up with somebody else, and you just pay the twin share price. The designated solo cabins are sold out now, or you can have a double for sole use, but just get in touch with me and we can give you a little bit more information. The other thing I just want to quickly talk about is the getting to Scotland. So I am from Yorkshire, so not too far from Scotland, but the train up to Edinburgh is beautiful. So if you wanted me to give you some advice on booking train travel up that way, from London to Edinburgh, it only takes about 4 hours, and I will be traveling on the train from York, which is only 2.5 hours. And you travel up the coast, you get quite far, right next to the ocean, up by like Northumberland, and up as you go across through the border. And it's a really, really pretty train ride. So I would recommend, if you can, to go on the train up to Edinburgh. And early bird flights are available at the moment with Singapore Airlines, and Emirates have got some good prices out at the moment. So it's a good idea to have a look at all those and mix them up and do the package. So yeah, there was a few questions on the chat. One of them was just about the jackets. So yes, you do get to keep the jacket. Which is nice. Everybody always likes to bring a souvenir home, and yeah, all yours to keep. And then the other one is, so the departure is the 19th of May next year, and it finishes on the 31st of May. So yeah, 19th of May to the 31st of May. But just let me know if you would like a trip dossier, and I can send that through to you. So that's it for me for the British Isles and talking about Scotland. And contact your travel agent if you are interested, or just speak to one of us in the office. And our next webinar series, if you are an avid follower of our webinars, it is on our river cruising Asia series. So it will be coming up soon, and our marketing team will send out details about that. And that's it from me, and I hope to see you all soon. Thank you. Bye.